Hey FlossTube, and welcome to Fairy Tales and French Knots. Today is September 21st, and today I'm going to do one of my Just a Quickie how-to videos because I got my COVID shot yesterday, and while I'm very happy that I got my COVID shot, I'm a little tired and just don't feel like being on camera, so I thought I'd do this instead. And I thought I would show how to finish weird shapes. I know there's lots of videos out there on lacing rectangles and finishing things in circles and ovals, but there are some odd shaped frames and things we might want to try mounting our needlework on, so I thought I'd talk about that today for a little bit. So a little bit of backstory, where I got the supplies for this. It all started with this piece. So this was a piece I finished several years ago, decided I wanted to mount it on one of these pre-made wood blank plaques that you can get at Michael's, Joann's, probably Hobby Lobby. I don't shop at Hobby Lobby myself, so I don't know. But anyway, I finished the stitching. I decoupaged some old book pages onto it, and I mounted my little gnome librarian. Now, obviously, he is a rectangle. But like any good crafter, as I was getting ready to start this project, I didn't know what size wood plaque I needed or even what dimensions and shape I wanted. So because at the time I didn't want to go to the store, come back with one, have it be wrong, go back to the store and, make bunches of trips, I was efficient and I bought a whole bunch of plaques, which are now in my craft finishing stash. So we have this little guy who's finished, right? We also have this plaque. We have this oval one, which I did nothing to. So this one I did decoupage. This one I left alone. And then I had this large one, which I did finish. I varnished, but did not do anything else with. So I was looking at this larger one here, which barely wants to fit all on camera. And I have a piece that I finished a year or two ago from Homespun Elegance. And it is this one here. Let me move that for a moment. It's this piece right here. And I had thought about making this into a pillow, but as I was looking at it, I thought it would fit very nicely on this. So looking at it, and it's almost rectangular, but it does have a curve at the top and bottom, and it's got these little notches in the sides. So I thought I could just do a rectangle. That would be okay. But I never go with the simple way. And I decided I wanted a piece that matched the edges of the wood. So, first thing I did was I took this piece and I laid it on a piece of mat board and I traced around the outside edge. I could very easily have done that on paper. But I have a stash of mat board that I got from my local framer, and I tend to be a bit careless with it. I certainly don't save it for anything. I have a giant cardboard box full of mat scraps. So I figured sacrificing a 9x9 square was fine. So my first try, let me go back. So I cut out the shape of the outside. Then I measured an inch in from the top and sides, kind of drew a line to mimic about an inch in from this part, from the outer edge. And then I connected it with the little swoops. I did this by hand. I did not do this with any kind of measuring tool or actually what probably would have worked really well as a protractor, but I did not do that. So this is what I came up with. And if you look at it, it's a little wonky. We got a straight edge here. We've got a curve here. This curve doesn't match this curve. This curve doesn't match the one on the other side. So attempt number one, no good. But as I was looking at it, I really liked this side. So what I did is I got another piece of mat board, because as I said, I'm somewhat free with my mat board. I traced this side And then I flipped it over and I traced it again from the middle out. And I ended up with this, which is still not exact, but is pretty darn close. Then I glued some batting. That's what it's called. Yes, batting. Glued some batting to it. And now it fits right there. And here is my stitched piece, which, as you can see, if you lay it on the piece of mat board and batting, fits perfectly. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to lace it like it's rectangular on the straight edges. So these long edges on the sides and the top and bottom I will lace. Then what I will do is make some cuts and fit them with glue. Yes, I will use glue, good old Aleene's Tacky, to make it fit the curve. So I'm going to pause this just for a minute. This is my upholstery thread. This is my glue. I'm going to do the lacing, and then I'll be back to show how I do the curves. How I think I'm going to do the curves. Yes. So I laced my long sides, and the more I look at this, the more I think I may need to fit these curves before I lace the top. And I'm really thinking how I want to do this. So welcome to the inside of my brain, where I try to figure all this stuff out as I go. I'm sure that there is an official approved way to do these things. I don't always do them that way. I tend to play around on my own and try to figure things out. So I think what I am going to do is use a bit of glue on the back side, right? Like right in here, and possibly cut. Yes, I'm going to cut here. So I have some give in my fabric. So right there. Right there. So that I can wrap this into the curve. And get a nice clear curve. So that will go like this. And then I'll have this bit here left to lace to the top. Did that make any sense at all? I don't know. Let's see how this goes. And just FYI, this is not a piece that I'm in love with or that I have any, sentimental attachment to. This is just the piece that I thought would work to try this with. So there's some glue. And pull this over. Fit it into that curve. Piece of fuzz out of there. We're going to do this again. Bit there because we know it's going to overlap some. Pull that tight. Curve again. Let's see. Now if I turn this over, yes, got this nice curve right here. So now I'm going to continue that on all four corners. And then you can see this will fit on this board mimicking the shape of the board. Like that. So I'm going to do some more cutting, gluing, and I'll be back in a bit. So here's the piece with all of the little corner cuts and like scroll work fitted. And the more I look at this, I had thought I would lace these ends together. I think it's going to work better if I glue them. And I know that many people, heck, you've probably already just about died with the amount of glue that I used on this piece. But I am a gluer. I don't expect any piece that I make to, last for hundreds of years. I make it to look the way I like it looking now. So I think, yeah, the more I look at this, I think I can fit these better if I use glue. So that's what I'm going to do, and I will do that right now. So as you can see, there's the top, and that fits. You can't tell how it's attached. Looks pretty good, I think. I'm going to do the same on the bottom. I do use a lot of glue. I have no shame in my glue. So there is the piece. It is all set. Once the glue dries a bit, I will then attach it to the board and then decide like what trims and such I might want to attach. But just to give an idea of what it looks like, here's the board and there is the piece. So I think that works out pretty well. And that's my little tip on working with strange shapes. I think it's basically a dressmaker's tip, really, to basically set in sleeves is the same technique. You put a bunch of angled cuts in, and it makes the curve easier to negotiate. So it works with mounting on odd shapes as well. Thanks, and I will put in a picture of the finished product here in a minute, and hope you enjoyed that. Bye.